and welcome to another video in our Metricool tutorial. My name is Alex and I am the US Social Media Manager for Metricool. In today's video, we are going to be talking all about tips and tricks with Metricool. So if you have watched the complete tutorial up until this point, this will give you some lesser known tips or tricks so that you can get the full benefits of Metricool. We'll be talking about a couple different things in our analytics section as well as our planner. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Today's video is going to be all about tips and tricks in Metricool that you may not know about, especially if you have watched our complete Metricool tutorial. This might give you some insights into a couple of other things that you can do within the Metricool platform so that you can get full benefits. I'm going to bounce around a bit, but all of this is super useful and they might not be the more well-known features that you can do. So to begin, I thought we could start with the Metricool Chrome extension. I'm not entirely sure how many people know about the Metricool Chrome extension, but it is a super useful tool that you can add directly to your browser if you are using Google Chrome. So I am going to go into here. This is the Metricool Chrome extension. You could just Google Metricool Chrome extension or you can search for it on the Chrome web store. But as you can see here, it gives you some photos of how you can use it as well as an overview of the product. But basically, if you find a link, a text, video, post, and you want to share it, you just click on the extension. It opens up Metricool and it opens up the planner so that you can go ahead and schedule out that content. So let's say, for example, maybe you were looking on Pexels and you found a stock photo that you wanted to use. That is an example of a way that you could use the Chrome extension. I'm going to show you how to install it and then we will do a quick little demo. So you're going to want to click on Add to Chrome, and it's going to ask you if you want to add Metricool. So you'll want to click on Add Extension. Then it's going to download that. Since I have done it before, it doesn't actually show the download, but it will do it if it's your first time, and then it'll say Metricool has been added to Chrome. Then you'll want to go up here, and you'll want to pin it to your Chrome browser. As you can see here, there's a little Metricool logo, and that is pinned, and it is ready to go. It's super easy to install. So now let's do my example. Let's go to Pexels. So we'll go to Pexels and let's say I wanted an image to go with my tweet. So let's say I like this one. So I can click on it and then I can click on this little logo and it's going to take me directly to my Metricool Planner, which is super nice. You can see I already have it set to Twitter and I want to use this photo. So let's say I had some content that I wanted and I wanted this photo to accompany it. It could say literally anything, but this is just an example of how you can use the Chrome extension. It's very convenient and we highly recommend, especially if you are a person that kind of thinks of content on the fly. Maybe you'll see something that gives you inspiration or that you want to share. You can do that with a really easy, simple clip. Another great way to use the Chrome extension, apart from, just clicking on the little bookmark that you saved, is you can actually highlight specific pieces of text that you want to use as well. You can highlight basically any piece of content, but I'm going to show you an example for text. So let's say I was reading something on the Metricool website and I wanted to make a post about it. So let's go to a blog. So if I go to the Metricool blog and I am reading about how to create an Instagram avatar. So let's say I wanted to make a post about this and I really liked this text and I want to tweak it for my own. I can actually right click into this text right here and I can hit share selection with Metricool. That is going to take that piece of text and paste it directly in. So I can remove this because I don't necessarily need the link, but if I wanted to, I have the link there and I could, credit the link. But if I just wanted the piece of text and then I wanted to tweak it a bit, I can do that as well. I'm obviously tweaking our own content, but of course you can use this in however way you want with what you find, but I can tweak it and create an Instagram post based off of that blog post. And then even I could, lead back to the blog post. So this is another way to use that integration with that Chrome extension. The second thing I want to touch on is our Publish Now feature, which is something that I feel like gets overlooked in the planner a lot. But for example, let's say that you had a last minute change in your content calendar and you need to go in and tweak a post, but you need it to go up immediately, like let's say it was supposed to go up in the afternoon, but now you need it to go up now, instead of clicking into a post and manually setting that time, you can tweak the post and you can toggle on publish now, and then you can save it. Of course, there's nothing in here, so I can show you with another example as well. So let's say I wanted this post to go out now instead of, tomorrow. I could click on publish now, hit save, and then that post is going to automatically be sent to be published. It's really nice so that, you don't necessarily have to go and look for that specific 1 minute time frame from the time that you're working on it now. You can just publish it directly. So that's another quick little tip that you can use when you are scheduling out any last minute content or for whatever reason that you would need to publish it in that exact moment. So now let's talk about Canva. Our Canva integration, I feel like, is one of our most popular features, but I also feel like it's a feature that a lot of people forget about. And it is such a great integration. It is absolutely free. All you need is a Metricool account and a Canva account to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the steps of how easy it is to use it from beginning to end. So let me go ahead and go on into Canva. I already have an example set up, but I do want to quickly explain some limitations to our integration. So you can't do video content with it, but you can do image content. So you can do single images, you can do carousels, and this can be, if you want to just do a single image post, if you want to do like an infographic with multiple slides, if you want to do some story slides. There are many different ways to use the Canva integration. So for my example, as you can see, I did a story example. So I have 3 different slides and there's not much to them. I just changed the background on them for the example for this video. But let's say I was completely done creating my content and I wanted to move it on over to the Metricool Planner. So in order to do this, I would go ahead and hit share up here in the right-hand corner. So I'd hit share, and as you can see, Metricool is already up here in one of my more frequently used things. But if this is your first time, you're not going to see that Metricool icon there. So you're actually going to want to scroll down to more. So you can scroll all the way down until you get to more options, and Metricool will be in this list. Or you can simply look for the Metricool integration. So as you can see, I typed in Metricool and it pops up. So I'll click on Metricool and you'll see a new screen pops up here. And it's going to ask you for 3 requirements to send it on over and use the integration. It's going to ask you for the file type, the pages that you want to select. So like I said, if it was just a single image, that would be your only option, but I have multiple pages. And then it's going to ask you for a message. So the message is more so for you just to be able to use the integration. You can use this message if you'd like, or you can delete it when you get into the planner. So for something like story content where I wouldn't necessarily need text, I would just put in an example here and delete it in the planner. But if you already had your caption for, let's say, your carousel post, you could input that in here as you please. So I'm going to go ahead and fill these all in and move that on over to the Metricool Planner. So first things first, we're going to hit the file type. So you can do JPEG or PNG. I usually just do JPEG. And then for the pages, I do want to utilize all 3 pages. But again, this is completely up to you depending on what you're creating. And then the message. So for me, I don't have a caption for my story content. So I'm just going to put in story content as a filler. And then I'm going to hit save. And now Canva is going to start preparing my design. Now, once this is done, you'll see that it's going to ask you if you want to view it in Metricool. So it'll say your design has been saved. It'll ask you if you want to continue editing, go to your homepage, or view in Metricool. You can always hit continue editing if you have, if you need to make some more tweaks. You can go back to your homepage if you'd like, but if you do want to move it on over into the planner, you need to click view in Metricool. So I'm going to do that. And then it's going to open up a new window directly in Metricool in the post planner. And as you can see here, it's already imported that content. So I can see that I have the story content that I put in here. So I'll delete that because like I said, I don't need it, but it'll be completely dependent on the type of content you're creating and what you have inputted in that message. And then I already have it toggled on to Instagram and story, but of course, if you wanted the post for Facebook or for something else, you can always customize this as you please. And I can see here in the example, if I just click through, I have all 3 of my slides as well as down here. And then another great thing that I do want to mention is that you don't need to worry about if you happen to have the new window open up and you're not in the correct account. So many people have different brands associated under their Metricool account, and that is okay. It is actually completely easy to toggle in between them. So let's say these story slides weren't for the Metricool English account. Let's say they were for the Spanish account. I just have to go up here in the right-hand corner and click into the brand that I want. And you'll see it's completely the same. I would just, make those finishing touches in whichever account I wanted the content to be posted to. So I'm going to actually go back to the Metricool English account, but it's super easy to toggle in between, and that is something that you don't have to worry about. We make that process super simple and seamless to toggle in between the accounts. So now I will go ahead and schedule this out. So I'll do story. I will remove that. I'll make sure everything is good. If I wanted to add in some finishing touches, I could do that by editing the images, but I don't. And then, if I want to auto-publish it, do any of those things that you would normally do when you were scheduling out content in the Metricool Planner, and then you would simply hit save, and that is how you use our Canva integration. It's super simple and easy to use. Like I said, you can utilize it in many different ways, and the best part about it is that it is completely free to use. So I highly recommend that you try it out, especially if you are already a Canva lover and you utilize Canva to create your content already. This will just streamline your process even more. Okay, now we are actually going to jump to analytics. So I already clicked into the analytics tab, and we're actually going to scroll all the way down to the hashtag tracker. Now, I have touched on the hashtag tracker, I believe, in both the Instagram and the Twitter video, but I'll talk about it a little bit more in depth here. So our hashtag tracker is an additional feature that you can purchase if you are looking to track certain hashtags for either Twitter or Instagram. So examples of this could be, let's say you have a branded hashtag you want to track, or if you're using a specific hashtag for an event, this is a great feature to use so that you can really see how well that hashtag is doing. If people are interacting, if people are posting with the hashtag, it's all real time. You get really great analytics from it. And we really recommend if you do have a specific hashtag that you are wanting to look at. So like I said, this is an extra cost. It is a 99 euros, and you can track any hashtag for 24 hours per the social network. You can also pay only for what you use, so you can set the days and the sessions you want to monitor. And if you buy 4 days, you do get 1 day free. So this would show you here your balance, and you can buy days here. If you click on it, it'll ask you for your billing information, and you can set that up. But to actually create the tracking session, it's super easy. So you can use any hashtag. So let's say, for example, I don't know, let's say we were doing like a cool event and we wanted to call it, Metricool Bash. So you can choose to do Twitter or Instagram. You can do just one, or you can do both. Let's do Twitter. Then you pick your start date. So let's say I wanted it to start in a couple days, the time frame you want it to start, and then the duration. Of course, remember that you will be charged per the 24 hours. And if you do the 4 days, you get 1 day free. So let's say you wanted to track it for 2 days because it's a 2-day event. So once you do that, you can go ahead and click on Create Session, and it is going to create that tracking session. Now, I'm not going to click on it, but I will show you examples. So as I scroll down, you'll see we have a couple of saved hashtags, and this is what it's going to look like once you have that live. So you'll see here, like for example, here was a social media marketing world 20, which was a hashtag that we tracked on Twitter. And it was when it was created, the beginning, the duration of that track, the status of it. So it would obviously show a different status if it was live, but it was finished. And then the amount of tweets. And then if it was for Instagram, it would show the amount of posts. So you can always look at those analytics. When you click into it, it'll show you nicely the activity, participants, tweets, hashtags, pictures, time frame. You can, pick this time frame to look at certain, maybe just like one of the days, or if you want to look at all of them, you can do that. You can generate a report from this information, and you can see what the hashtags we tracked were, the evolution, hourly, every minute, tweets, participants, pictures, impressions. And as you scroll down, you'll see all of this in-depth analytics. Like, it's really great. And you can also display this all in real time. So obviously right now I am showing you an older hashtag that we've tracked, but it's really great for, seeing all of those metrics and analyzing it, seeing how, your event's performing or whatever you're using the hashtag tracker for. And if this was live, you can actually set up a real-time monitor. So this wouldn't be grayed out, but it says that it opens a real-time screen with analytical information and it's refreshed automatically and it is available during the entirety of your tracking period. So you could always click on real-time monitor if you did want to share those metrics. And again, it is available for Instagram and for Twitter. It is a really great additional feature, and we do really find it to be super helpful. We use it ourselves for big events that we attend, and we really enjoy it. So if it's something that you haven't checked out that seems like it would be interesting for you, we definitely recommend. So now we are back to the planner section, and I'm actually going to end off talking about our AI feature. So you can use the AI in a few different ways. First, I will touch on it in the planner, and then I will touch on it in our auto list. So our AI is great it is basically a copy generator. So if, let's say, you need a little bit of inspiration, you can use that AI to help you out. So if I was creating a post, let's say I wanted this post to go to Instagram, but again, this is available for any of the platforms. As you see the AI button, which is this one right here, it does stay available for all of them. So let's say I just want to post to Instagram, and let's say I want to talk about content strategies, for example, but I don't necessarily have like a good caption. Like I'm in a content rut. I'm having a little bit of a brain block. I can click on this AI button and it's going to ask me what I want to talk about. It gives you an example. So here's the example. I want a text for LinkedIn in which you explain the 3 main functionalities of a social media tool. So that's an example of something that you could tell the AI, and then you can select the length. So headline would be something shorter, something catchier. Think Twitter. Then you could do medium, and then you can do long. And then you can also choose the tone of your text from anything from affectionate to formal to humorous to positive. There's many different options, so you can play around with that. It is important to note that the AI is based off of uses. So depending on which plan you have, it'll show you how many uses. So you'll want to make sure that you go to the Metricool website to see. It'll also tell you the available uses here in the right-hand corner. But if you are looking to understand how the uses work, we definitely recommend going to the Metricool website so that you are completely aware of the available uses and how that differs between plans. So what do we want to talk about? So maybe I want a text for Instagram about the importance of content strategies. And then let's say, I want it to be medium and I want it to be informative. Or not informative, and educational. And of course, before I click on generate text, I do want to also just mention that we do have a how to use it feature, which will take you to a nice blog post that'll show you exactly how to use the AI if you are looking for a little bit more help there. But we're going to click on generate text and we're going to wait for it to think and see what pops up. So let's just give it a moment to let it think, and it should pop up with multiple options. So it'll actually give me 5 different texts. So as you can see, here are the 5 different texts. So let's look at text 2. Content strategies are essential for any business that wants to succeed in today's digital landscape. A well-thought-out content strategy will help you create content that is tailored to your target audience, increases brand awareness, and drives more website traffic. So honestly, that one sounds really great. It even has hashtags. So what you can do is you can hit copy or you can hit use text. It's totally up to you. Of course, with AI, it is also important to note that AI isn't meant to replace you because, of course, you are the expert and it will never replace human interaction and how humans speak. But it is a great starting point. So you could take this text, and of course, you're always going to want to tweak the AI text. It should never just be verbatim copied because then your brand voice, your tone doesn't really generate across what you're trying to say. So you can click on use text and it'll actually input all of that in there, and then you can tweak it to your brand voice, to your liking. Let's say maybe there's one line you don't like, or maybe you want to make it a little bit more informal. You can do all of those things. And again, I also did click copy. So if I had wanted to, I could have also just copied that in there. But it's really great. You get 5 different options. You can use it in multiple different ways, not just for Instagram. Let's say you wanted a tweet about pop culture, something random like, I want a tweet about influencer, let's say, instead of pop culture, let's say influencer marketing. Best practices. So then we can do headline. Let's say we want this one to be more descriptive. It's going to be a headline, but let's see how descriptive we can get with a headline. So now I'm going to click on generate text, and it's giving me some headlines of maybe a nice hook I could have before I start a Twitter thread about influencer marketing. So it says, unlock the power of influencer marketing with these proven best practices. Don't miss out. Get the most from your influencer marketing campaign with these proven best practices. So as you can see, there are many different options. I like this one, don't miss out. So I can hit use text and it's going to paste that in. You know, I can switch it to Twitter and there is my AI doing most of the work for me. But of course, I can go in, add emojis, maybe add a GIF, like many different things. I can do those final tweaks. But the AI definitely helps me out. Now that we talked about AI in the planner, I do want to touch on AI in Autolist. It's actually a very similar concept, but I do want to show it. So you'll want to go to, in the planning section, go to Autolist, click into your Autolist, and then if I were going to add a new post, you can actually add posts with AI. And this is really great as well because, again, if you are needing that extra, imaginative boost for your post, you can do that with the text generator. So this specific one is for Twitter. So maybe I could do, I want a tweet about social media marketing in 2023. I can do headline, I can do the tone. So let's say creative, and I can choose the number of posts. So this is where it differs because auto lists are obviously like a running list of content that is being continuously pumped out in a set schedule. So let's say you want to add, 10 things to your auto list. You can generate that text and see which ones you want to use. So let's see, for example, what we will get. I've kept it pretty simple, social media marketing in 2023. So there is a chance that the AI gives me very short things that maybe aren't necessarily what I would want. But here I have social media marketing, get ahead of the curve, unlocking the secrets of social media marketing. So obviously for all of these, I would have to add to them, but these are all great headlines. Let's say I wanted a medium and let's generate the text for that and see what it gives me. So now that all of my 10 posts populated, I can see which ones I like. So what will the future of social media marketing look like? Get ready, social media marketing is going to be totally different. Get ready for the revolution. Social media marketing is about to get a whole lot more creative. So of course, some of these definitely need to be tweaked, but if you want to use the text, let's say you're good with this baseline of all 10 of them, you can actually hit use text and it's going to import all of those in. So now that all of those imported into the end of my auto list, I can, change them up. I can delete the ones I don't necessarily like. So, maybe there's a few that I didn't necessarily like. Maybe I only want to keep 5 of them. That is totally okay. So I'm only keeping 5. And then I would go in, maybe change up the hashtags, maybe change up the text, the wording, the tone. Obviously, you want this to reflect you, but many different ways to use the AI in the auto lists as well. Of course, this one is for Twitter, but you can use it for any of the platforms for those auto lists. I know that I said the last thing I was going to talk about was AI, but I do want to talk about one more thing, and then that will be the end. We're going to talk about notes. Notes is a great feature so that you can leave notes for yourself, maybe for another team member. Notes are just a great way for you to stay organized, and this is, again, available in our planner. It will appear under basically any post that you make, and it's actually this little note icon here. So let's say I created a tweet, and let's say I needed a graphic for it. So I could write myself a little reminder, need to add graphic. I hit save, and there it shows right there that I put this note that says need to add graphic. So I can let's just put tweet. So I save that. I save my tweet in there, which I don't remember where I saved that. Okay, here it is. And you can see here that on the planner, it will appear that there is a note. So if I hover over it, it'll show that note. So if I'm looking at my planner later, I can be like, oh, I have that note. I need to add the graphic. Okay, let me go and put that graphic in. You can also use it for, let's say, for example, this tweet is something that you want to repurpose in the future. You can leave a note for yourself that is like repurpose, or you can leave the caption in there so that you can take that and then repurpose it later. Again, there are so many different ways to use the notes feature. And of course, you can always click into it again and click into the note to see it directly if there's multiple notes. You can also click on show more notes. So for example, let's say I did need to add graphic, and then I also put, let's say I wanted to repurpose this tweet to an auto list. Repurpose tweet to auto list once graphic is input in. So then I can save that, and now I have 2 notes. Oh wait, I'm gonna click save. I want to click save, and then you'll see here that it'll show the most recent note, and then you can always click on show more notes so that you can see all of them. But this is great too, because now I know, hey, like next time I go in to add the graphic, I want to make sure to copy that tweet and then move it on over into an auto list as well. So these are just different ways that you can set reminders for yourself. We also have the ability to filter with the notes. So if you click into the filter, here you can see that you can filter by status, by network, and by notes. So if I were to click select none, obviously it'll clear my calendar. But if I just wanted to look at posts with notes, I can even filter by posts that have been read or have been unread. So here I have 2 notes. So here I have a note that says placeholder, because that is a placeholder for myself. That is not the actual video that I want to post, but I know that's a placeholder. And then here I have my repurpose my tweet. And then of course, if I wanted to just look at posts without notes, and I wanted to, let's say, review all the posts that have no notes first, and then I want to go into the posts that have notes, like that's another way that you can use this feature. Those are some additional tips and tricks that you can use within the Metricool platform so you can get that full benefit. Hopefully you learned something new through this video. Don't forget to use the code TRYFREE, and that will unlock 30 days free of any of our premium plans, which can help with some of those additional features that I talked about. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!